Hey everybody, it is your Chief Happy Officer Leslie Polk here for your Hear Your Truth Tuesday. It's a little later than usual, and I know last week I was off, so here we are. So this week I wanted to talk a little bit about things you can say to people with a mental illness. It came up in conversation with someone, and I've actually been reading a few articles on it lately, and a lot of the articles kind of talk about asking, having you ask the person, what can I do for you? How can I help you? But the reality is they can't tell you. I mean, sometimes they can, but a lot of times when someone is in emotional distress or feeling challenged or have a mental illness and they're having a hyper moment or they just can't. They don't know themselves. So to ask them to tell you what to do for them, I mean, even do you listen to how that even sounds? Like, I know you're going through something, but can you tell me what I can do to help you? Does that even make sense? No, it doesn't. But again, when you live with a person, like if it is your spouse or if it is a family member that you're familiar with, you might already know, and maybe, and hopefully, actually, you've done research and you have some coping mechanisms that not only the person going through the emotional challenge is doing, but you as the caregiver, you as the loved one, you as someone in their space have also done enough research and you've created some coping skills that you can do as well. Actually, that's a good idea for another topic. But I'm going to actually start with the things you should not say. I'm going to end with the good stuff. I always like to start with the don't do this stuff. So the things that you should not say is, how can I help and what do you need? For exactly the reason I just gave. A lot of times when a person is having anxiety or depression, they are unable to articulate what's happening, especially if they're new to this and if it hasn't been diagnosed. So it's hard for them to articulate what's actually going on. They may be having a hard time breathing. They may need to sit down. They may be confused as to what's going on. Or they may know exactly what's going on, but they might feel embarrassed or something's going on that they don't want to share with you. So just be cognizant of that. That is not really a good question. A better question is, or a better thing to say is, I'm here for you. So whatever you need. Now, there is a caveat to that one. In the moment, it's great. And chances are in the moment, they'll be like, I'm okay, I just need a moment, or they'll, handle it themselves. But when you tell a friend or loved one that I'm here for you, or I'm here for you for whatever you need, please be sincere. Please don't say that unless you actually mean it. And here's the other asterisk. It cannot be on your timeline. It's kind of like when someone asks you to move, right? You can't, like, for you to sit there and go, well, let me think about it. I'll see if I can. That's not helpful at all. Chances are they need to know. Are you one of the people I can count on to help me with this situation? No. And the same is true for emotional distress and for mental illness. If you tell someone, I'm here for you, in that moment, they might not be able to verbalize what they need. But maybe later on that evening or the next day, or maybe even a few days later, they might say, hey, I really need your help. Or is it possible for you to come over for a few minutes? I just need someone to sit with me. For you to go, oh, you know what? I actually have this thing I got to do. Would it be okay if I come tomorrow? It sounds selfish and it sounds like, you do have a life of your own, and it's true. And we know that, whoever you're dealing with knows that, but that's not the issue. The issue is you said, I'm here for you. I'm here for you for whatever you need. That means that you're here for whatever they need when they need it, when they need it. So that means that you have to drop what you're doing. Now, you can always give it a caveat, and it is easy enough to say, hey, you know what? I actually am in the middle of something. Can I come over later? Can I come over tomorrow? Or use emotional words. I understand. I'm so sorry. And right, be very sympathetic. I'm so sorry I can't be there right now. Can I stay on the phone with you for a little while longer? Would that be helpful? Be considerate and cognizant of the delicacy, I guess, for lack of a better word, that this person may be going through right now. Now, don't be patronizing or demeaning, but be caring. Care, honestly care about what's going on with them, but don't try to fix it. Just be there, listen. I can listen. Would you like to talk about it? Do what you can in the moment, and then also give a solution as to when you can be there. But whatever you can, if you can drop what you're doing, that is actually the best way to approach it. I know that sounds completely selfish and completely unreasonable, but so is emotions. Emotions are unreasonable. They're not logical. And mental illness, it's not logical, it's not reasonable, and it's not rational. So it happens when it happens. It's just how it is. The other thing you shouldn't say when someone is going through emotional crisis is, are you okay? Are you okay? And I know we don't mean to, even I will do it. Are you okay? It's a nice way to open sometimes, but when you ask someone if they're okay, usually in a time when they're acting sporadic or in a way that you're not sure what's going on, then the best thing actually is to say, hey, can I help with anything? Ask to be a part of what's going on. Don't frame it, because it can land, again, intentions, totally honorable. Totally get that. And a lot of people do get that. Your intentions of, are you okay? Totally honorable. But in the moment, it can land like, yeah, of course I'm okay. What's wrong with you? Why are you asking me that? And I'm sure those of you who have dealt with people with mental illness, I'm sure that's the response you've gotten sometimes. Like, of course, I'm fine. Why are you asking me that? Well, you seem a little confused, or what? I'm not confused. So it becomes this spiral of, you can walk into a landmine. Again, offer yourself. Can I help you with something? Can I get something for you? And just be there for that person. When someone also is willing to share what's going on with them, and this is so important, just listen. Try very hard not to say and share the similar experience you've had with that situation. No matter how honorable your intentions are, it's taking away the space for that person to have those emotions, to feel in that moment. But you can ask for permission to share. Wow, I'm so sorry you had to go through that. I actually do have a similar situation. Would you like to hear about it? Or can I share a similar situation and what I did? Ask permission. That allows them to still have their moment, but it also gives you an opportunity to share. You can also ask the question, would you like me to just listen, or would you like some input from me? Don't use those exact words because it sounds very clinical, but ask them if they want to hear some suggestions. If you have some, I have some ideas. Would you like to hear them? Do you think it'd be helpful? And that's also great verbiage. Do you think it'd be helpful? So ask that person, no matter what the situation is, ask that person for an invitation to their space, to their moment, to what's going on with them. And just let them know that you're there for them, but be sincere. Honestly, do not offer that unless you genuinely feel that you can give of yourself. Because here's the other thing. Self-care also works on your end as well. If you are having a moment, if you are in the middle of a rough time in your life, or if you're just not that person, and really, it's okay if you are not that empathetic person that can be that person. It's okay, because it takes all kinds to make a world. But if you are that person, then be there for the people that you're, offering to be there for. And don't make it about you. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that gave you some good verbiage, just basic verbiage to use. Again, articles will tell you all day long to just try and get in there and help. And a lot of times that can be too much. for a person that is going through an emotional challenge. So just kind of ask for an invitation, ask to be invited into that moment, ask for permission to be in that moment, which is like the first P in the habit of happy, and just be aware that of your own emotional space and how you want to show up for that person. So again, I hope that was helpful. I hope that carries you through the rest of the week. As always, you can follow me on Facebook at LP Speak. You can check me out on Instagram at LP Speak. Go to my website to get the 10 practices to achieve the habit of happy. And you can also find the newest webinar on my website. It's for the burnout webinar, and it's fantastic. And you can go to the product page and see a lot of things that are coming on board. All right. Well, I hope you have an amazing week. Lots of positivity. Always live the habit of happy. And until next time, go, be, do.